Real estate software should be all about saving you time and money. And one way that we do that is through sequences, otherwise known as automations. And if you aren't using automations yet, this is going to be a critical feature for you to really leverage your time. Setting up an automation one time can then work for you for years and years to come. And what automations do is, depending on what a lead does, how they entered their contact information into one of your contact forms, where they came from, anything, you can then put them through a sequence of emails and text messages over a span of 30, 60, 90 days, whatever you would like. And throughout those 30, 60, 90 days, we are now creating what is called in marketing terms a nurture sequence. You're now nurturing a lead to be a hotter lead. And when a lead does respond to one of those automated texts or emails, that is when you are now pinged, that lead is hot, and it's time for you to take action and close the deal. So let's talk about how we can leverage 1 hour of your time to save you 30, 40, 50 hours of your life down the road. Let's jump into the screen share. Let's talk sequences. This is one of my favorite features, and a feature that I believe that every single real estate professional in the world should be leveraging. All right, guys. So in this video, I wanted to talk about specifically how you can use automations to really level up yourself as an agent. And when it comes to automations, we know that agents that work longer hours on average make more money. So when it comes down to how can you work more hours without running yourself ragged, it's all about automations and leveraging technology to do the work of an agent that would normally take 60 to 100 hours without you ever even having to think about it or click a button. So automations are extremely powerful. They're extremely critical to converting leads, keeping your brand and yourself as an agent top of mind, and getting those leads from a cold introduction all the way through to a hot buyer or seller lead that is contacting you. So the way that I'm going to access this can be accessed in two ways. Again, either from the lead CRM, but I'm actually gonna go to messages. I'm gonna go to message automations, and automations can be triggered in a unlimited amount of ways. And what I mean by triggered is automations will work based on who you put in there, meaning which leads get put into those automations. And you can have an automation automatically start when a lead either submits from a certain contact form, or maybe they reply to a certain email and you want an automation to start after they reply to an email. However you want this automation to pick leads out and put leads in, you can either do this manually or have it automatically happen when the lead actually takes action on, let's say, an MLS listing email. But for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is to build these automations. We have some recommended recipes that our masterclass specialists can walk you through to get the most out of automations and put cold or old or stale leads or even previous clients on an automation to keep you top of mind. But what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna create a new automation. What I want this to do is start when somebody submits a homepage contact form. So I'm gonna apply this to leads from the auto lead capture on my homepage. Save this. I'm going to hit sequence. And now I can build out a timeline of messages that will go out to these leads on autopilot. So you submitted a form on my homepage, and the first thing that I want to go out is an email from me. And I want this to go out on day 0. I'm actually gonna have this set to 7 a.m. So this will probably send out automatically on day 0 if they submit it after 7 a.m. But you'll be able to see a preview of what the email looks like. This is the subject of the email that will go out. We'll autofill in their first name, and then it will introduce me to them. And the next thing that I want to have happen is on day 2, so the next day after, I want them to get a text basically saying like, hey, when can we set up a call? And I'll have this go out at 3 p.m. Save changes. Now you're seeing like day 0, the day they submit it, this is going out. The next day, this is going out. If they reply to anything, whether they reply to an email or a text, it will automatically take them out of this automation. So you're not sending somebody messages that doesn't need them and doesn't want them. When they pulls them out of here, you'll get a text to your text messages on your iPhone or Android or whatever you have saying that this lead replied. And when they reply, they will be pulled out of all automations. So when I'm building this out, let's say they didn't reply to this. I want to send them another email featuring a listing. And I've built this email out to have whatever is my newest listing will be featured in this. So now I have 3 different contact points that I will never have to touch a single button to send out, which is the coolest part about all this. And it's been 3 days now. They submitted it on day 1. I sent this on the next day. I sent this on the next day. Now I want to say something more the lines of, are you still interested? And I'm actually going to wait a couple of days and send this out on day 6. I'm going to send this at 6 p.m. I want to hit them at a variety of times to try to get them at the best time possible. And you'll see that this message says, hello, first name. It will autofill their first name. Are you still interested in finding a home? And I can continue to build this out. And I do not have to be tied down to me actually having to physically send out messages all the time. I have a couple of pre-templated stuff made in here, but this can actually be made to email them over the course of an entire year. You can have unlimited templates that you can just plug into these sequences and have a timeline that a lead is going to travel through. And the goal with this is to warm that lead up and get them contacting you when the time is right for them. So you're not wasting your time following up with leads that just aren't going to help you, that aren't going to close for you, that are going to just waste your time. These automations are extremely powerful for both sphere of influence marketing and for paid lead gen marketing. You can use both of them, stay at the top of mind for your potential clients. So when somebody does have a need for a realtor, you are the last person to reach out to them, whether they were ready to buy or not. And you are the one that they are going to refer that business to. So this is just one example of how automations can happen. We also have MLS automations, like I've mentioned in a previous video about MLS data, that can actually send out well-formatted and beautifully formatted MLS data every time a new listing is available in a specific search criteria. So you're not just stuck sending out ugly MLS information. So I hope that this shows you guys a little bit of how easy it can be to leverage automations and make your 40-hour work week look like you're working 140 hours a week, but by adding no additional work to your plate. All of this happens in the background. All of this works for you, and it only reaches out to you when a lead replies and they are ready to talk.